Good morning, folks. So, life lesson for shits and giggles. That should be good. Not taking yourself too seriously. But also realizing that self-deprecation can be self-sabotage if you take it too far. And yeah, it's Friday and I'm doing something serious. I don't understand it either. But it occurred to me earlier that I can sometimes come off as someone who takes themselves very seriously. I do my best not to, but I think it's the chair this time. There we go. So, while I do try not to take myself too seriously, I have learned over the years that being too self-deprecating or too dismissive of your own worth, of your own achievements, can be equally damaging. And in a way is just as arrogant. It took me a long time to learn to take compliments. A very long time. And it took me a bit longer, a fair bit longer, to accept that when someone compliments me, their opinion is valid. Now, obviously you take everyone's opinion with a grain of salt because it's opinion. And just because they're complimenting something you do right now doesn't mean they really know who you are or that they know the things you've been through. By the same token, it's much harder to have an absolutely realistic assessment of our own abilities if we haven't practiced that skill. And for a lot of people, the lack of realistic self-assessment tends to end in them thinking they're better than they are, and can cause some, what's the best word for it? I'm getting smoke in my eye. Self-evaluation is a tricky process, and it takes years to actually be any good at it. For instance, for myself, I know I'm not perfect. Damn near close, though. No, obviously I don't take myself seriously when I say things like that. But by the same token, I have survived things and accomplished things that I know are beyond other people, or at least some other people. I'm really not happy with I can see in the background here I've got a dust cover that I made out of vinyl for my ratchet wrenches because it's a wood shed, a work shed. So I create a fair bit of sawdust, and I intended to, and this is illustrative of how you can be critical of yourself but also be realistic. The thin white line right above my thumb here, that should be probably another inch, I think, thicker. It's just a strip of vinyl. I'm not sure what type of vinyl. It's scrap from, I'm not even sure where it came from now. One of my friends gave it to me. He had a big roll of fairly thick vinyl. So I grabbed it from knowing that I would probably have a use for it, and I have used, excuse me, pieces of it for all sorts of things, backdrops for paint, things like that. But my point is, not taking yourself too seriously or having a realistic sense of self-assessment means that I can look at that and go, okay, yeah, I did build something, but it's not quite fit for purpose, so it needs fixing. And I'll just go do it again. I'll have to pull some staples and probably cut another piece of vinyl. Oh well, such is life. We make mistakes and we learn from them. The problem a lot of people seem to have is that they refuse to admit that they can make mistakes. And, I mean, obviously the lefties are very bad for this. Yeah, well, I just made a bit of a mistake there. I shouldn't lump every view that I oppose into one category, because it kind of it doesn't serve the purpose of making the argument clearer. Fucking eyebrows. I'll shave these things off one of these days. No, I'm not. Anyway, it doesn't make the purpose, or it doesn't serve the purpose of making my argument more understandable. It makes it actually less understandable. And now I've completely lost the thread of my thought. Oh, goodness. Anyway, people tend to be really hard on themselves in ways that can be damaging, and not hard enough on themselves in ways that are constructive. For instance, a decade ago, I'd have said, it's good enough. It's not. It doesn't do what I want it to do, so it needs to be fixed. And acquiring the wisdom to know what needs to be fixed and what you can leave, or what doesn't deserve your stress or attention, takes a bit of work. It takes time. You have to actually go through a learning process. And since it's midsummer, there are quite a few kids who just graduated high school who need to hear this. You're not done learning. You're never done learning. You're done studying, mostly, but you are never done learning. There will always be more things to learn. But yeah, coming back to the point, taking yourself too seriously, it really sucks a lot of the life out of you. It can make your life very difficult, because you end up doing two things. You put yourself on a pedestal and expect perfection, which you cannot get. And you expect other people either to disappoint you or to live up to your standards, neither of which is realistic. That said, there are basic standards that everyone should be held to. And I think one of the social ills we have right now is that people are not holding each other to standards, especially men. I hate to keep harping on it, but it's something that's kind of stuck in my craw, is this stuff from the subways. The woman being attacked. Well, the women being attacked. And in some cases, as much as dozens of people just doing nothing. Or worse, making a spectacle of it by doing this. Don't do this. Don't ever do this when you see something wrong going on that you can actually act to fix. Don't do this. Don't be an anonymous box spectacleizing, whatever the term is, but making a spectacle out of what's going on. If you see a tragedy unfolding, don't record it. Go try and stop it. Ugh. Okay, I'm getting heated over that. Yeah. Anyway, you know, self-assessment, it's something a lot of the people we disagree with, feminists, environmentalists, politicians, they don't have it. Or they've had it suppressed. Celebrities are a great example of this. I said earlier that I wouldn't want to be a celebrity. That's half true. I wouldn't mind recognition, truly. But, and, I mean, I'm getting recognition. I've got 51 subscribers here. I've got 363 on Getter. I have followers on Gab and other platforms. So that is recognition of a kind. But when it comes to celebrity, that sort of weird worship that people have. Of course, now I'm still having problems with my eyebrow. But that sort of worship that people get, it has to twist you. Or maybe you're twisted before you even go and seek things like that out. I mean, someone like Amber Heard, for example. Was she a bad person before she was famous? Did she get famous because she was a bad person willing to do what it took to get famous? Or did celebrity twist her? Right? I like to believe that all people are basically good, but I know that's wrong. I like to believe it, but I know it's wrong. I've met people who belong in cages. And as terrible as it is, sometimes what we go through in life really does do us harm. Sometimes the harm is something we deserve. Sometimes. But I don't believe anyone's beyond redemption. But I believe some people might be beyond seeking it. Don't want to end on a black pill, though. There are people who actually use celebrity as a superpower. Mr. Beast is a great example. This is a YouTuber who has a massive following, so he makes a lot of money from his YouTube views. And he does good things with it, at least as far as it appears. He's taking random people and just handing them money. That's awesome. I'd love to be able to do that. If I ever got to the point that I was making $10,000 on a video, which isn't going to happen every day, but if I got to the point that I was making $10,000 a month, it's $120,000 a year. Yeah, I'm going to use some of that to enrich myself, but one of the things I'd love to be able to do is stuff a pocket full of hundreds and just walk down a Skid Row and just hand those fuckers out like candy. Right? I know for a fact that I might not help 90% of the people that I do that for, but that 10% matters. And the thing with 10% or those people, a percent of those people will go on to help other people. But not just that, just being them, taking an opportunity that's been given to them and building on it will inspire other people. And then they'll do good things. So, you know, I think that's enough of a white pill to end on, that the good things we do in this world don't stop at us. They go beyond us. Anyway, folks, love you all. Take it easy. I will talk to you later. Oh, Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I didn't even think to mention that today. Don't forget, tomorrow I'll be on the Sultans of Shadilay. That starts 10:30 Newfoundland time. This is part of the reason I didn't want to end on a black pill. Come join us in our misery, won't you? What else? Yeah, that'll do for now. Anyway, take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.